a growth mindset for success. Ultimately, we can rewrite our story. I think somebody needs to hear that this morning, or maybe it's in the evening when you're watching the replay. You can rewrite your story. Where you're at right now doesn't have to be where you remain. What it looks like in this moment doesn't have to be how it's always going to be. You can create a mental shift. You can transform your life. You can revolutionize your existence. You can create something new. You can scale. You can grow. You can build. You can accomplish something greater. You can rewrite your story. But one prerequisite to each and every single one of us rewriting our story in a positive and a powerful way is we have to cultivate a growth mindset. If you will, please, family, comment below growth mindset to begin the conversation. Growth mindset, that's our goal. That is our objective as we approach this week's opportunities. We want to make sure that our mindset is in alignment with elevation. We want to make sure that our mindset is in alignment with our vision, our purpose, and our goals. We want to grow and scale and take things to the next level. There's a book written by Carol Dweck, a phenomenal author. The book is entitled The New Psychology of Success. In essence, the concept of this book is really describing the difference between an individual with a fixed mindset and a person with a growth mindset. Now, to kind of break this down, to sum it up, there's beliefs that individuals have. And individuals that have a growth mindset, they believe that their abilities can always improve over time, while a person with a fixed mindset just simply believes that their abilities are unchangeable. Who they are is who they are. It is what it is, right? How many of us have ever operated with that mindset, with the assumption that things can never be different or things can never be improved? And even as it relates to individuals approaching challenges, people with a growth mindset, they look at challenges as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to improve, while somebody with a fixed mindset, they try to avoid challenges by any means necessary. They don't want to take any risks. They'd rather be comfortable. They'd rather be secure. They'd rather stay in the same place because it's familiar, right? Doesn't bring forth too many uncertainties. And even as it relates to failure, a person that views a failure from a growth mindset, they're going to see failure as a temporary setback, as a lesson that they can apply to who they are and then come back better the next time. While a person that has a fixed mindset, they see setbacks as something that limits their future success. Meaning when they get hit by a wall or they get rejected, they simply turn around and go back to the life that they used to, right? Then a person that actually receives feedback and has a growth mindset, these individuals see feedback as a form of improvement. They receive things from individuals, even though it may be some form of scrutiny or critique. They see it as constructive criticism. But a person with a fixed mindset may look at it as a personal attack towards who they are. And they take it personal. In some cases, it begins to attack and diminish their self-esteem, which later impacts their ability and willingness to step further outside of their comfort zone in the future. And it's important for us to understand that people with a growth mindset, family, these are the individuals that are more resilient. These are the individuals that are more motivated and they're more persistent as it relates to them pursuing their goals and their dreams. And they're more apt to step out of their comfort zone and take a risk that will level up their life. I cannot stress enough on how important it is for us as individuals that want to be success warriors, that want to be overcomers, that want to be high achievers in life. We must learn to cultivate a growth mindset. But here's what we have to understand. Everything that I just mentioned as it relates to a person with a growth mindset and in comparison to a person that has a fixed mindset, it's boiled down to one simple thing. Everybody comment below what you believe. What you believe. Let me make it plain. When I have a growth mindset, that growth mindset is built and structured from the beliefs that I adopt. Even in the same case as it relates to a fixed mindset, it's your beliefs that are ultimately shaping your overview, right? The way that you perceive the world around you, how you view situations, how you view your struggles, how you view failure, how you view a setback. It's the beliefs that we have. And this is what I want to talk about during this conversation as it relates to us cultivating a growth mindset. Keep this in mind. What you repeat to yourself, family, what you believe on a consistent basis, will ultimately shape how you show up. Because what you believe, you eventually become. Let me put it to us this way. What you will believe and become ultimately the things that you repeat to yourself on a consistent basis. The things that you say to yourself frequently. The self-talk that's echoing in your mind. The narrative that you have on replay in your consciousness. You will believe and become whatever you consistently repeat to yourself. Here's a question. What are you repeating to yourself on a continuous basis? What type of thoughts are you putting energy behind, especially as you approach this week's opportunities? Even as you approach your challenges and your difficulties, what are you saying to yourself in these particular moments? Because again, what you repeat to yourself will dictate what you believe and who you become. Here's another question that I challenge us to consider. What have you been avoiding that you know you need to lean into to get to your next level? What are the things that you have convinced yourself you cannot do? What are the tasks that you need to step into to level up your life? But for some odd reason, you have a mindset where it's fixed and you believe that you can't gain access to it. I need us to understand, like I mentioned at the top of this conversation, you can always rewrite your story. I want somebody to really grasp that concept, okay? No matter how long you have thought a certain way, no matter how long you have believed you couldn't do something, you can make the executive decision that today I'm going to decide to do it. Today, I'm going to step outside of my comfort zone. On this day, I'm going to do something that I've never done before so I can experience the life that I've never had. What have you been running away from? Maybe it's because of fear. Maybe it's because of self-doubt. Maybe you made the attempt a few years ago and the result didn't come out the way that you initially planned it and you got discouraged and felt defeated and now you feel hopeless and powerless. So therefore, you're not stepping in with courage. You're not moving with boldness. You're not speaking with conviction. You'd rather stay stuck in your frustration and disappointment. Here's what I need us to understand, family. Before you convince yourself that you cannot do something, and I'm talking about us stepping into this week, leading with courage. Before you convince yourself that you can't do certain things, I want you to ask yourself two simple questions. Question number one is this. Do I believe I can't do this simply because I've never done it before? Very quickly, I want you to ask yourself that question, okay? Do I assume that I can't gain access to this opportunity simply because I've never been there before? Do I assume that I can't do this particular task simply because I've never done it before? Then here's another game-changing question. Number two is this, family. After you ask that first question, ask yourself this second question. What can I do right now to position myself to be better at what I'm aiming to accomplish? What do I need to do right now in this moment? In what ways can I grow and improve or adapt to achieve the task at hand? Because here's what's at play. Simply when we say I can't do something, that's an unexamined assumption. Everybody comment below. An unexamined assumption. It's assumption, right? And assumptions are the lowest level of reality because it doesn't require you to seek out information or new knowledge or information, right? When I assume something, ultimately I'm saying it is what it is. I'm not investigating it. Therefore, it's done, right? It's unexamined. We don't want to make unexamined assumptions. No, we want to investigate to figure out, is this really true? And by you asking yourself, in what ways can I grow, improve, or adapt to achieve the task at hand, you move your mind beyond that assumption and start seeking out knowledge and information and resources that will assist you in accomplishing what it is that you're aiming to accomplish. Because the way the mind works, family, is what you seek, you will find. It's like a dog. When you throw that ball, it retrieves that ball and brings it back to you. So by you asking your mind, how can I grow? How can I adapt? How can I create shifts? In what ways can I improve to achieve the task at hand? It seeks out solutions, resources, maybe even connections that will assist you in leveling up your life, stepping out of your comfort zone, and achieving the task at hand. Family, when you deeply believe that you can always grow, and improve, this is when you will position yourself to improve the quality of your life. I'm talking about stepping into this week, family, knowing that you can do more, be greater, and accomplish new levels of success. I can be more. I can do greater, and I can become a more upgraded version of myself simply because I operate with a growth mindset. So here's the call to action. I challenge us. I double dog dare y'all, right? We'll take it back to the grade school challenges. I double dog dare you to have the courage to expand your capabilities this week. Have the courage to expand your capabilities. Like I asked you earlier, what's that thing that you've been avoiding that you know you need to lean into to get to your next level in life? This week, let's make the commitment that we're going to do it. What have you been avoiding? Dancing around, right? Running away from, apprehensive to step into, procrastinating on, that you know you need to step into to take your life to the next level, to take your career to the next level, to take your side hustle to the next level, to build and grow and scale your business. What is it that you've been running away from? That you've been convincing yourself, I can't do it, I can't gain access to it. Whatever it is, I want you to expand your capabilities by having the courage to lean into it. Lean into it. Because here's what we have to understand. It's not that you can't do certain things. It's not that you can't handle certain situations. It's not that you can't thrive in certain environments. But what's needed, family, is a fundamental shift in the way that you view yourself. It's not a lack of ability. No, it's a lack of belief. And the belief that you need to start adopting is that you can always grow and improve and scale and become better. But you're going to have the courage to step into what is uncomfortable. And that's what's challenging, right? Because what's uncomfortable, we associate with pain. And nobody wants to be in pain. We'd rather connect with pleasure. But you have to understand that pain is temporary. That pain will lead you to your purpose. That pain will lead you to prosperity. That pain will lead you to improving the quality of your life. Think about some of the most rewarding experiences that you've ever had. Think about how you approached it when it was very intimidating, very challenging, something that brought forth a lot of fear, maybe anxiety. But as you came out on the other side, you begin to realize, hold on, I'm stronger, I'm greater. Maybe you acquired some wisdom. You discover more about yourself. You tapped into a strength that you did not know you possessed simply because you had the courage to expand your capabilities. What I'm saying is this week, let's operate with that mindset. I want you to be relentless on your pursuit towards excellence. I want you to be unstoppable as you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. Yes, it may be challenging. There's going to be moments when you second guess yourself, when you question why you stepped out of your comfort zone. That's all a part of the process. Growth does not happen in your comfort zone, family. It's through that discomfort that we gain access to growth, improvement, and us developing as leaders. So therefore, again, the call to action is for you to have the courage to expand your capabilities by leaning into that very thing that you've been avoiding. If you don't get anything else out of what we talked about during this broadcast, take this with you. You will believe and become whatever you repeat to yourself, whatever you consistently say to yourself. Next week, we're going to dive deeper into that particular concept, getting into the narrative within our mind to help reframe those thoughts in a more empowering way. But I'll leave you with that seed right now to plant into your mind so it can germinate throughout this week. But ultimately, you will believe and become whatever you repeat to yourself. So make sure you're speaking life. Make sure you're encouraging yourself. Don't be your inner critic, be your inner coach. Don't self-sabotage, self-encourage. Be confident in your abilities. I'm talking about speaking with authority, even over your challenges, even over your difficulties, even over your past. Maybe somebody in this broadcast, you've convinced yourself that you can't do certain things because of the mistakes that you made yesterday, the failures that you've experienced. Maybe it was something that someone said to you. You were in grade school, middle school, high school, in your undergrad, your master's, whatever it was. Somebody told you that you could never be something and you bought into that idea. Remember, you can always rewrite your story. And the best way to battle and challenge that inner critic is to do the very thing that you once convinced yourself that you couldn't do. I'm a living witness of this. I'm trying to wrap it up, but I think somebody needs to hear this. For years, I told myself I could never be a speaker. I could never stand in front of an audience and impact people in a positive way. I couldn't provide any form of value. This is what's going on in my own mind. And the shift began to take place the moment I consciously decided I'm going to rewrite my story. I refuse to allow these negative thoughts to dictate how I live out my life. Who needs to hear that? Don't allow yesterday's beliefs to dictate the life that you live out today. You can rewrite your story right here, right now, by consciously deciding I'm stepping boldly into where I'm aiming to go in life. I'm going to have the courage to expand my capabilities, because you never know what's going to be on the other side of your fear. You never know what's going to be on the other side of that doubt, that insecurity that's been holding you back. When you start leaning into that, that's when you're going to tap into your personal power. And as I'm speaking, I'm reminded of a very famous quote from Joseph Campbell. He said, "The cave that you're afraid to enter holds the treasure that you seek." Somebody needs to hear that as well. That treasure that you've been hoping for, wishing for, and praying for, and yearning for, is going to be found in the cave that you've been avoiding, the work that you've been running away from, the sacrifices that you haven't been making, the necessary steps that you need to start taking. You got to lead yourself into that uncomfortable position so you can tap into your growth and gain access to the success that you've been envisioning. So again, you will believe and become whatever you consistently repeat to yourself. If you slid into this broadcast and I was unable to give you a shout out, be sure to comment below. And if this is your first time, or maybe your first time in a long time, put a number 1 in the chat and then place your first name afterward. I'll be sure to shout you out before we do wrap this thing up. But I'm hoping that somebody somewhere did find some value in this discussion. If so, put some fist up in the comments below. Let your boy D1 know you were picking up what I was putting down during this conversation. I missed a whole bunch of comments, nothing personal. Your boy was just in the zone. I'll get to him here in a second, though. Who else we got in the building? Kevin is in the building, my brother from another mother. Growth is not just about where you are going. It's about who you are becoming. If you become who you are supposed to be, you will then get to where you are destined to go. Drop the mic, brother. I'm loving it. Brenda, I'm expanding my capabilities. Yes, a fundamental shift. Dustin is in the building. For me, it's talking on that stage. I can do Zoom all day long, talk to the people all day long, but being on that stage invokes such fear. I have the courage to do it, and I need to do it more of it. Start this week, brother. Start this week. The only difference is your mindset, right? Even though the setting may be different, it's really the way that you're perceiving it. So ultimately, if you change your perception, you can change your experience. Nothing changes our life more than our perspective. So if you begin to shift the way that you view the situation in a more empowering and positive way, then ultimately you can show up effectively. Now, here's a quick mind hack. Maybe somebody has the fear of speaking in public, right? And this is a fear that I once had. And the shift that took place within me was understanding that you are in a position. Let me cut this down because somebody needs to hear this. It's understanding that you are in a position to serve others in a positive, or in some cases, empowering way, right? The way that fear operates, fear forces you to look within and look at everything that you feel you're lacking, everything you feel you're missing, every area that makes you feel insecure, and then it provokes some type of feeling. But when you look at the people that you're aiming to serve, right? When you look at the people that desperately need what you have to say, you're taking the focus from an inward perspective, and now you're looking outward and looking how you can now provide value to those that you come in contact with. So the shift that happened within me, of course, my mind's running all over the place. I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to embarrass myself. Nobody's going to listen to what I have to say. I'm looking inwardly because I'm looking at everything I feel I'm lacking. But the shift took place when I started to consider somebody that's listening to the sound of my voice may be on the verge of giving up on their goals. They may be challenged with something that is trying to take them out. In some cases, right, they've hit rock bottom. And going beyond the goals, they may feel like giving up on life. And something that I say, Dustin, can really transform how they feel. It can really create a brand new experience. It can shift their perspective in an empowering way. So what this does is position me to be in a position to vessel myself, like to be a vessel where I can provide value, insights, and a perspective shift that can transform this person's life. I'm making it bigger than just me. So when I direct my focus externally, not inwardly, now I'm able to connect with this person and provide value that can shift them and improve the quality of their life. Does that make sense? Hopefully you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. David King is in the building, rewriting presently at 70 years old. It's never too late. Never too late, man. You're always one decision away from transforming your life. Excellent. I see the fist coming up. Please share this out, y'all. Share this out with the people that you do care about. Absolutely, Tia. Inner coach, not the inner critic. Changing the narrative. Lisa is in the building. Looking forward to rewriting my story based on my own perceptions of me, not those of others. Thanks, friend. Have a great week. And likewise, let's connect soon, Lisa, for sure. I'm loving the work you guys are doing out there on the basketball court. Got to come check you guys out very soon. Yes, Dustin, absolutely. But Lisa brings up a very important piece here. Very important piece. She says, looking forward to rewriting my story based on my own perceptions of me. Family, if you don't hear anything else out of what I've talked about during today's conversation, take this with you, okay? The story that you tell yourself about yourself carries the greatest influence over your life. The story that you tell yourself about yourself, it carries the greatest influence over your life. You can literally be gifted, talented, highly skilled. You can have more degrees than a thermometer. But if you keep telling yourself a disempowering story, you'll never be effective. You'll never scale to the next level. You'll never perform at a high level. What we have to learn to do is reframe the story that you've bought into, the beliefs that you're allowing to influence you, the narrative that you have on replay in your minds. I work one-on-one with young professionals and leaders and individuals that are aiming to level up on this specific task, reframing the story that you're telling yourself about yourself. Because for so many of us, there's disempowering beliefs that we have that are operating on a subconscious level. We're not even consciously thinking about it. This is why instantly when opportunities present themselves, we're quick to shut them down. I could never do that. No, I could never experience that, right? Because on a subconscious level, you have a disempowering story that's on replay. And that story has been built off of your failures, your mistakes, your insecurities, those moments when you felt inferior. You began to condition yourself that you couldn't do certain things, that you can never level up your life or experience certain things. And what we have to learn to do is actively reframe this story in a more empowering way so we can be empowered. When you're empowered, don't get me wrong. It's not to say that you won't be met with challenges. It's not to say that you don't experience setbacks. It's not to say that you don't even have low moments, but it's to say that you develop your mental fitness to the point that you don't stay in those moments. You rise above them. You get hit in the way that you interpret it as, hey, this thing ain't gonna break me. It's gonna make me better. And you keep moving forward. So again, the story that you tell yourself about yourself is gonna carry the greatest influence over your life. So with that being said, we'll dive into it deeper during next week's broadcast. But I really want you to consider, what are you saying to yourself? What do you have on replay in your mind? What are you consistently thinking about yourself? How do you view yourself? What are your beliefs about who you are, your capabilities, your gifts, your talents, or even deeper, what do you believe about your purpose and the significance that your life carries? It's time for you to start tapping into these. Start getting aware, like becoming aware of ultimately the mindset that you've held on to that is influencing every aspect of your life. It's impacting how you show up for opportunities. It's impacting your career. It's impacting your relationship with your significant other, the relationship that you have with your children, the relationship that you have with your coworkers, your peers. It's impacting every aspect of your life. And the more and more we build awareness around these things, self-awareness is the first step to self-empowerment. If I can build awareness around my mindset and make the necessary changes, now I'm empowering myself to improve the quality of my life. I'm not just a puppet that's being manipulated by yesterday's beliefs. I can cut those cords and redefine what's possible and change the trajectory of my life and improve my life experience, first and foremost, beginning with my mind. Let's wrap this thing up, though, family. Again, I've said a lot of things during this conversation. I'm hoping that somebody somewhere benefited from something that was said during this broadcast. Now, before we do wrap it up, if we've yet to connect on other platforms, be sure to connect with your boy. I'm at D1 Gibson on all platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm also on LinkedIn. If you're on that platform, connect with me there. Be sure to also subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/David Gibson. One thing that I made a goal of mine this year is to be intentional about expanding our community there on that platform on YouTube. So I would truly appreciate you guys connecting with me there. That's where all of my long form content is available. Short films, short documentaries, as well as mindset sessions like this. Be sure to tap into it again, youtube.com/David Gibson. Also, visit the website elevationisAmust.com for more information on my speaking and coaching services. Be sure to get information there. And while you are there, tap into the website, not the website, but the online store rather, where you can purchase books, ebooks, and resources, all designed to help you master your mindset and level up your life. With that being said, family, let's wrap this thing up. You got dreams to catch and success to create, so we each got to get busy being great, stepping into this Monday. Before we do conclude and wrap up this conversation, if you find yourself in a difficult situation or a challenging experience, come real close to your cell phone device and listen to me clearly. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're experiencing, it's only temporary. It's only temporary. I know it hurts. I know it's painful. I know it's challenging. I know your back may be up against the wall. But don't make a permanent decision that's based upon a temporary circumstance, a temporary feeling. You may be saying, well, D1, that sounds good and very inspiring, but you have no idea what I'm up against. And that may be true. I may not know what you're currently facing. I may not know what you're currently dealing with. I may not know the current conditions of your life. I may not even know you personally. But what I do know is this: whatever stands in front of you and whatever stands behind you has nothing compared to the power that's at work with you. What I need you to do this week is stand up with that power. Lead with that power. Move with that power. I'm talking about being unstoppable, because hear me clearly. You are unstoppable when you decide to be. When you make the decision, I won't be stopped by this challenge. I refuse to lose. I'm making sure I'm going to guarantee success. It's not over until I win. When you operate with that mindset, that's when you'll transform your life. That's when you improve your life experience. Sometimes it's not even about our situations changing. What's most important is us changing. Because when we change, when we grow, when we develop, when we become better, we can make our situations better. That's what it all boils down to. So you focus on what you can control. Control the controllables. You can control how you show up. You can control what you're focusing on. You can control the energy that you represent and that you bring to every experience. Bring that determined energy. Bring that powerful energy. And let's change our lives for the better. If nobody else tells you that they love you today, remember, your brother from another mother, D1 Gibson, has nothing but love for each and every single one of you. With all of that being said, Kevin, I said I'm going to close about 4 or 5 times. I sound like a preacher right now, right? Got 5 or 6 different closings. But nonetheless, I promise you we're closing right here, right now. But family, my wish and my hope for each and every single one of you is that today and every day this week, I want you to be effective. I want you to be successful. Let's live with some passion this week. And most importantly, 3 pounds to your chest. 1, 2, 3. Be powerful. I'm your brother from another mother, David Gibson, a.k.a. D1 Gibson. Thank you all for tuning into this broadcast. Catch the replay if you missed most of the message. The inspiration is still the same. We'll be back at it next week, Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, peace.
I'm gonna make it. I can see my shot is here, so now I'm gonna take it. Gotta get up, get out, time to stand up, get loud, time to rise up off the floor. And I'm stronger than ever now, can't hold me down no more. I'm waking up, 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 I'm waking up. So I'ma do it right now, yeah, I'ma do it right now. Giving up and